Ohio State, a little bit of a quarterback race, a little quarterback battle going on out there. We're going to give you our prediction as well as break this whole competition down as a whole. I think it's important whenever we talk about a quarterback battle to make sure we give the proper preface, if you will, to that battle. Like a lot of times, whoever a team rolls with at quarterback, it's often dictated by what the offense needs. Like last year, A&M is a great example. Connor Wegman, if you put him out there in a pro day setting, might be a better thrower of the football than Marcel Reed, would be my guess, given the fact that he was the guy for them last year to start the year. However, it became very apparent the offense needed more juice, needed a guy with some mobility, needed a guy that could create for the offense, and Connor Wegman was not that. So you go with Marcel Reed. Could be a similar conversation for Ohio State at their quarterback position. You got a lot of good options, as you always do when you are in Columbus, Ohio, in that quarterback room. You got Julian Sayin, you got Lincoln Kienholz, you got the true freshman, 5-star plus cat, Tavien St. Clair. Everyone's flipping this past cycle. Everyone's looking at other options when it comes down to the wire. Not Tavien St. Clair. Commits to Ohio State early, sticks all the way through, and is enrolled and going to go through spring practice. So Tavien St. Clair, just so we touch on this really quick, he is the future in Columbus. Make no mistake. He is the guy that I think will be taking snaps sooner rather than later for the Buckeyes. With that being said, I don't think that he's probably your guy in 2025. It's not a knock on the guy. It's just when you look at what's coming back in Columbus, it's not the stacked running back room that it was a season ago. You lose some pieces on defense. To throw the keys to a true freshman after you just won the national title and lose what you lose doesn't feel super fair. It doesn't feel like the move for the Buckeyes. So if he does win the job and you're an Ohio State fan, if he does it under normal circumstances, like there's no injuries and there's nothing wacky going on, buckle up, because that should tell you everything you need to know about what he probably did in the Woody Hayes Athletic Center during some of those scrimmages. So we'll have that out there. So I don't think it's Tavien St. Clair, but it's not because he's not a baller. So I think it's probably Lincoln Kienholz versus Julian Sayin. This goes back to the discussion. What does the offense need? If you need a playmaker, Lincoln Kienholz is a freak. Absolute freak. My guy's windmill dunking when he's in high school. He chose Ohio State because he wanted to compete. He wasn't scared by the quarterback room that he knew would be stacked. Like he signed up for this. During the national title run, during the national title game prep, he is back there with the green number 13 jersey, trying to give the Ohio State defense a look for Riley Leonard, and it showed in the college football national title game. So we talk about what he brings to the table. If you don't have everything totally situated how you want it to on the offensive line and you need someone to get the play started, could be Lincoln Kienholz. I mean, that's definitely, I think, on the table when you talk about the future in Columbus. The thought for me, though, is with Julian Sayin, out of high school, he was considered the most accurate cat in the entire class. Like, I mean, every single stop, it was just like that was the number one note on him. If you look at his rise, I guess, when it talks about his high school career, Nick Saban wanted him. He was originally enrolled at Alabama and then had a short-term signee situation where he transferred to Ohio State once Nick Saban retired, so I don't think that's nothing. You also think back to a season ago, the buzz during spring practice when Julian Sayin pulled up to campus was like, hey, it's probably Will Howard, but like Julian Sayin is turning heads right now, dude. Like he might mess around and factor into how this thing's going to look in 2024. Obviously, he gets to redshirt last year. I think that's the best thing for him, but it really is, to me, this simple. Next season at Ohio State, priority 1, 2, and 3 in every single game you play is, can Jeremiah Smith impact the game as much as humanly possible? If that's the game plan, and if that's my priority list, I want the individual who is the most accurate, who has the best, prototypical passer, I suppose, on this group. Like, I want Julian Sayin to be the guy throwing Jeremiah Smith the football. That's, I think, pretty much all that you have to account for if I'm making this discussion. Now, I think it's worth noting, whoever the quarterback is for Ohio State, you got to be dialed in between the ears regardless of the game, but especially in 2025, you open with Texas rolling into town, and you got to be able to ride the wave. Like, if Ohio State beats Texas, you got to be able to handle all of the positivity coming your way. They're going to be saying he's better than C.J. Stroud and he's going to win the Heisman. Like, there's going to be ridiculous praise heaped on this guy, whoever it is, Kienholz or Sayin, if they beat Texas in game 1. The flip side of that, if they lose, they will immediately, I promise you, they will immediately be calling for the other player that finished second in that quarterback derby, whether it's Kienholz or Sayin. So as much as the physical part of this is going to be a massive, factor in whoever starts, I really think that being able to handle everything that comes with Ohio State and handling, that quarterback position in this situation for 2025 is going to be just as important. So a lot there, a lot to unpack. My prediction would be it's Julian Sayin. For what I already told you, I think he's more of the sure bet when it comes to getting Jeremiah Smith the football. But if that ends up being Lincoln Kienholz, then more power to him, and you got an athlete back there who can windmill dunk and play quarterback for you. Not a bad deal.